if you're at 6 and Anthony Richardson is still on the board, why not take a chance at a real X factor, a real game changer, somebody who could actually change your franchise and not just run your offense? Someone who could be an offense to himself.
So you take the project. So if you, because my idea was, if you got a quarterback available and you the Lions, you got one of these guys that's available besides Will Levis, because I do not believe in Will Levis
Nope.
at all. So let's get to that.
No,
But let's
yes,
get back.
yes, yes.
Let's get back to I'm gonna stay on track. I'm gonna stay off track. I almost got off track, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I mean, that's my fault for bringing up AR-15.
I'm
That's on
taking
me.
I'm taking AR-15 if I'm right there, because we seen how we seen the Jalen Hurts, we seen the Lamar Jackson, we see we see all these guys, we see a Kyler
Cam,
Murray, we see all of these, possibly a Trey Lance. We don't know what he's gonna be yet. You know, Josh Allen. They big, they mobile. Besides Kyler Murray, but they big, mobile, big arm. Now, if I take him, I let him sit behind a extremely accurate quarterback in Jared Goff. Yeah, he may be lacking in the arm strength, but extremely accurate. Can throw, but I say, if I'm the Lions and he's there, that X factor of his legs, like how we've seen these mobile quarterbacks. I forgot the best one, Patrick Mahomes, mobile,
yeah,
can change the game with his legs. If you get Anthony Richardson in an NFL scheme with the right coaches and the right culture, which I think Detroit culture right now, the state it's in, I put him right there. We on the same page.
this is the best thing about it though, Melly. Is it's the fact that Detroit has time because they have Jared Goff under contract right now.
And you could
So
get
he's
get him on
he's
the
a
cheap.
great bridge quarterback. And if you see how Baltimore played Lamar his rookie year, they they had packages for Lamar and they played him later in the season, down the stretch, and they handed it over to him. But AR-15 would have a year or two to sit behind Goff and learn if he had to. If he ain't ready to go ahead and take over that spot already.
And then if Jared Goff keeps playing the way he plays, ship him for cheap. Well, ship him to somewhere else. Let some other team
Ship him.
pay for a old veteran quarterback to be a bridge guy again, and then throw AR-15 in, see if he's legit or not. But you know what I'm saying? We don't know. But if he is who he is, who they think he's gonna be, I say if he's there, you take him. You
Yeah,
take
bro.
him.
Enough playing it safe in Detroit, man.
We
Like,
need a dynamic. He got a
yeah.
superstar in him.
The city is ready to explode, bro. Go.
Controversy though. We got some more controversy around these quarterbacks. The Panthers GM said he didn't tell Young that he'd be going number one. Now it could be Cap. He could just be grabbing him anyway. But you know what I'm saying. He could be saying that just cause, like, well, I didn't tell him he's going number one, but he's still gonna pick him number one anyway. But the knock on Bryce Young is, now people have been praising him. They've been saying Steph Curry of football. I've been hearing that, but
Yep.
they saying because Dog is 5'10", and Kyler Murray is in the league and he's been tearing it up when he's been healthier. Like, you know what I'm saying. So, and Russell Wilson is not the tallest quarterback in the world. So like the height thing, it's kind of like Drew Brees was short, so it's like I mean, is that what y'all gonna knock him on? Is y'all gonna talk? Is we gonna talk about the arm? Is we gonna talk about the leadership? Like the maturity, he been playing NFL defenses already.
No, he hasn't. Nah. Don't do
But
that.
even he's in
Don't
the
do that.
SEC, man. He's in
Don't do
the
that.
SEC. He's in the
Exactly.
SEC, dog. He's in the SEC, and when he wasn't playing, he was on scout team playing against first round draft picks, dog. Come on, man.
All right,
Come on,
Melly.
man.
This is my thing, bro. The NFL draft, when it comes to quarterbacks, is a crapshoot. It's flipping a coin, bro. You never know who gonna hit. So if you're making a gamble on somebody, which it is a gamble, you never know who gonna pan out.
Facts.
Why not gamble on the 6'4", 240 pound freak athlete who runs a 4.4, 4.3 40 rather than the 5'10", 185-pound kid who throws a pretty spiral and can read the field. I feel like at his best, Bryce Young could be what? Russell Wilson? At his worst, he could be Tua, concussion prone, holding the ball too long, getting hit.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Undersized.
With that,
he's not Kyler. He does not have Kyler's athleticism.
I know
He does
I know
not have
Kyler's I was just saying,
build.
like as far as stature, you know what I'm saying? Like they talking
but
about the stature and his height.
Right. Yeah, but Kyler's jacked. That's the difference. Bryce skinny. That's the difference. That boy gonna get suplexed by Will Anderson, and he gonna feel it.
Man.
Anthony Richardson not gonna feel it.
So you saying?
I see what this is turning into.
So Chaz, this is what I'm getting from you right now. So if you was the Panthers, you taking Anthony Richardson.
What you're getting from me right now is
that's what I'm getting.
I don't like any of these quarterbacks. You know, honestly, you wanna know who I like the most? Who I like the most in this draft?
Go ahead, bro.
I like Dorian Thompson-Robinson the most. I like DTR.
I
feel like
seeing eye to eye right now.
Because if you look at it, right, the quarterbacks who gonna succeed are gonna be those ones who had some adversity in college, but also have above average athleticism. DTR threw the fastest ball at the combine.
Hey, look, bro,
harder than Will Levis, harder than AR.
For fun. If you cut on the tape.
He's hurdling people for fun. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson, bro. He does. He just wasn't in the Clemson offense. He wasn't in the Clemson system.
Lamar in him.
He got some Lamar in his game with a little less sauce. I'm telling you, bro, this draft is not strong at quarterback. You're better off taking a chance, grabbing a freak athlete, and if it don't work, Caleb Williams is coming out next year. Drake May is coming out next year. Michael Penix is coming out next year. And all these GMs and coaches who draft a quarterback early and fail all end up getting fired within a year or two. So why not take a chance on a super athlete?
Check it out, though.
Talk to me.
When you said DTR, and I was gonna go on here and I wasn't gonna say it, but Hendon Hooker is in this draft.
I like Hendon.
If you a guy,
I don't love him though.
I'm just saying. If you
talk to me,
I'm just saying the ACL injury is not the same ramifications as it was before, and he's an older guy, smart kid. You know what I'm saying? Started at Virginia Tech, so ain't no question of intelligence. Went to Tennessee, tore it up.
Right.
They said he was old. I get it. He playing against younger guys. I get it, but you got to produce in the SEC. Now, if you a guy, again, if you got to sit a QB for a year, why not? If you ain't thinking it's the strongest and you got to shore up that quarterback room and you can have a guy in-house who's a ACL, you know what I'm saying, recovery away, got the best equipment in the world, best trainers in the world. Who's to say? I like him a lot better than I like Anthony Richardson, to be honest. But just because of the knee injury, I'm looking at him crazy. But if I got to take a guy who's done it and he a little bit older, I don't know. It's a wobbler. It's unpredictable. Like you said, it's a crapshoot. But I'm thinking these first picks, I feel like the narratives that's been getting put out, it's looking like it ain't gonna be as cut and dry as we make it seem, and as people think it's gonna be. But we could be completely wrong. Yeah. Let's bring it back to last week or last episode. Trade for Trey Lance. Trade the pick for Trey Lance. I get it. We don't know what Trey Lance is, but throwing that narrative out there, maybe the Niners, shop him.
All right, so
one of these
hold on,
players
bro.
That want a quarterback, you gotta shop
Houston has 2 first-round draft picks this year.
Shop him.
So I'm saying if you're willing to, they got 2 and they got 12. I think even 12 is a bit rich for Trey Lance. Maybe send a third rounder or a second rounder. See if Shanahan play ball. Because 2-12 overall from Houston, I think that's too valuable to give up for Trey Lance.
Be an amazing fit.
Sheesh. Phenomenal.
Lamar with a run game and a defense and a good O coordinator, a great O coordinator.
That's scary. Chill. Hey Melvin,
Yo,
who's
talk
your
to me.
favorite player in the draft this year?
My favorite player?
Yep. You know who mine is. Bijan Robinson.
They saying he coming. They say he coming to Dallas.
I love a good Texas back. Pause. If he's coming to Dallas, don't look at me like that, bro. I don't think there's a chance that we actually. I don't think he's still there, right? Because we got the Chargers ahead of us. We got Detroit
He's
ahead of us
stopping
twice.
Eckler.
We got Atlanta ahead of us. We got Tennessee ahead of us. A lot of teams that could go RB. But if Bijan does fall to the boys, we back.
You know who?
And we giving them 21.
I'm gonna say this, and I think this player gonna be a game changer where they got him projected. Cause I seen him abuse my Ducks. Dalton Kincaid,
Oh, yeah,
who can
yeah,
be an
yeah.
X factor, and who I hated to watch him play against my team, but everybody else, I was, you know, hoop background. We know how
Kincaid
that
nasty.
come into play with these tight ends. Antonio Gates was a hooper. Tony Gonzalez was a hooper. You know what I'm saying? Crazy athlete. Now, he was my favorite to watch for show, game changer.
Here.
Boy CeeLo on the cam. But yeah, that's my player. If I'm gonna go outside, I ain't gonna be a typical D lineman and just straight up take a defensive end because that's easy. I could just say Will, but
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Dalton.
That's a good one.
Dog. He gonna
CeeLo, who your
I
favorite
hope
player
he
in the
don't come to
draft,
the
bro?
North and abuse the Lions.
Before I say that, did we already talk about Hendon Hooker being a
Go
good
ahead.
fit for the Bucks?
No.
Bucks?
Oh, we did not say that. Go ahead.
No,
Give me
Oh
your 2
yeah,
cents.
I think that'll be a great fit for Hendon Hooker to go to the Bucks. I think that'll be a great fit, dude.
I agree.
Hey, I could see Hendon Hooker being what Jameis should have been for the Bucks.
Ooh.
I think better decision maker, better leader.
Jameis went 1 overall, bro. That's high hopes for Hendon Hooker. Go ahead.
Exactly.
You
Tell
said
me
it
about
yourself,
it.
crapshoot, Chaz.
I know.
saying,
I'm not disagreeing.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not saying Hendon gonna get drafted high, but I feel like if the Bucks are looking for a QB, which I think Baker Mayfield is literally like a lifeline QB for them.
Yeah, he's a bridge Q.
Yeah, he's a lifeline QB for them. I say Bucks draft Hendon, and Hendon is going to be what Jameis should have been for the Buccaneers. More athletic, in my opinion.
He is.
Not as great, not as strong as arm. We all know J-Bo has one of the strongest arms still.
Yeah, that boy had a Bayou arm. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just think that athleticism may be able to help a stale Bucks offense next season if they would draft him. So I think Hendon Hooker should fall with the Bucks.
Hey, you know what's crazy is I said I feel like Hendon Hooker and DTR are going to benefit from getting drafted later because I feel like they'll go to more solid franchises. And I didn't name the Bucks. That's a good one. I named like Pittsburgh, New England, somebody who could take a Q late. I really like that Bucks fit. That's a great fit.
And now to my favorite player in the draft. I'm gonna say C.J. Stroud.
CJ?
I'm gonna say C.J. Stroud. Probably I don't care. He's my favorite player in the draft. Because this draft, there's not very many players that I could name an offensive lineman or so, but like nobody knows that. But like, if
Go
I'm
ahead.
going,
I'm here for the Peter Skorowski talk.
I'm cool. If I'm going with a name brand player, I'm saying I want C.J. Stroud. That's probably my favorite player in the draft. Don't care about the S2, the cognitive test.
Nah, me neither.
Care about
Nope.
don't tell me, don't care about none of the combine numbers.
No.
That dude can ball. That dude is a baller, bro.
So, do you want to see him in Houston at 2?
I would say no. Reason
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
say
Me neither.
no. Reason I'm gonna say no is because as much as I love the moves that Houston made in the offseason with grabbing D'Amico, grabbing some good key players, they still don't have enough. I don't think. So I'm still seeing them fall last in the AFC South. Maybe third. Possible wild card. Maybe I don't even think at that point. Maybe they might win one more game than what they won this past season. Who knows? I want to see the Texans fail again.
Yeah.
That way we can possibly get another lottery pick next year
Yep.
and grab Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. One of those two.
But who gonna throw it to him?
We'll find somebody.
All right, man.
Anybody. I'll throw the ball to Marvin Harrison.
I'll
Jr.
say this about
I'll
CJ
get it to
Stroud
me.
though. He in that Georgia game, you know what I'm saying? He a knuckleball
Incredible.
kick away from beating up on TCU in the Natty. But he changed that changed my whole perspective on CJ, dog. That game, and and when Caleb said it, that he was his favorite player, I immediately thought about that game against Georgia. If y'all ain't watched no other games and you cut on that Georgia tape, you'll be like, okay, he doing this against the defending national champion, who in the next game destroyed TCU. So I'm like,
That was the national championship. To me, that was the national championship.
basically because I ain't watching none of that TCU game, but CJ
Huh?
Stroud gave Kirby
Huh?
Smart a heart attack.
Sorry, brother. Michigan was gonna get the same as TCU. They was gonna get the same treatment.
I
brother.
know, but we mopped Ohio State by 20, so
That's cool.
how they getting the natty over us?
Hey man, completely different team when them big lights on.
I will say this, right? I do
They
think
both lost.
CJ finally played
Right.
how we all knew he was capable of in that Georgia game. That was easily the best game he played all year, probably of his career, besides maybe Utah in the Rose Bowl the year before.
I ain't counting the Utah game. They was down a bunch of players. But that was his show.
But-
That was his show it to me, prove it moment.
But that's bro. That's him going nuts in college, and I want to project who I think he'll be in the league, and I don't think he's gonna be that guy that we saw against Georgia in the league.
What's his ceiling?
that's why-
give me a ceiling player, Chaz. Give me a ceiling player and give me a floor.
His ceiling is Dak. His floor is Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton?
Yes.
You just called him Jared Goff a couple minutes ago.
Oh wow!
I said you said his floor. Floor is the worst, right?
All right. I feel like floor. All right. Give me.
So
the-
you
give me
mean
the
by
base.
his base? His
Give me the
base.
base. Not
Yeah,
not
okay.
not the base. Not the basement. The base.
Yeah. So the base, yeah, I would say is golfish, Jared Golfish. His ceiling is Dakish, right? You see Dak, he'll run the ball sometimes. When he does, it's usually highly effective, usually for touchdowns or first downs.
Okay.
Accurate
respect it.
guy, very smart. Like that's if CJ like becomes his best self. He's a way better natural thrower than Dak, but I don't think he's half the commander that Dak is, right? Like
Mm.
CJ was, like I said, he benefited a lot from being in that Ohio State system. I hope he does prove me wrong because I do like him as a person from everything I've seen, all the interviews and stuff. And I actually watched him play in person this year in East Lansing against Michigan State. And the dude is big, bro. You don't realize how big some of these quarterbacks are. CJ is a big dude. And it was a 56-7 blowout. You know, Michigan State was bad this year, but I mean, I liked what I saw in that game, but you know, I got mixed feelings about who I think he's gonna be in the league.
All right. Caleb, you got any final remarks?
Yeah, I mean, can I get my base, ceiling, and floor
Absolutely, please do.
for CJ Stroud?
Yeah.
Honestly, if we gonna go, if floor, I'm gonna start with floor. I say his floor would be a Teddy Bridgewater type career.
Okay. Ace
Would
Scott
be
said that. Y'all.
That's what I gave Hendon Hooker.
okay.
No, yeah, Ace Scott
I
said
can
that.
I can say the same thing for
That's
Hendon
his
Hooker,
floor,
but,
yep.
but for CJ Stroud, I'm gonna give him a Teddy Bridgewater ish for a floor. His base could be very well rounded. I almost want to say, and I'm I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna stick with some QBs. I'm gonna say his base
You
could
ain't
be
like Kyle Orton, bro?
no.
All
Hey,
right, go ahead.
think about this. Think about this, bro. We gonna take a step back. His base could possibly be like a McNabbish type career.
McNabb.
Pretty good.
McNabb.
Pretty good base.
That's a
great-
solid
that's a
base.
great-
It's
man.
a solid base.
That's a solid base, and I think that could happen depending on which team scoop him and how he develop. If he, what I'm saying, if he see like most Ohio State guys, they normally get into a good groove in the NFL. And it's just these last upcoming years where we see a lot of the Ohio States sticking to and staying in these positions, these QB positions. Like you had Cardell, who was a backup for a while with the Chargers. You had
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett. You even had Braxton Miller. He didn't come
Terrell
in.
Pryor played a little
Terrell Pryor. You know what I mean? A lot of these good dudes had decent careers in the NFL. Not decent as in like, oh yeah, like I'm a remember it, but like decent enough to where they stayed in the league for 5-6 years.
You know what? That's similar to a lot of the Bama quarterbacks too. But
Yeah,
I would say Bama even better. Like those Bama guys stuck around in the league in backup spots. Them Ohio State guys, they didn't stick around like them Bama boys did. And like I'm
that's
saying,
true.
neither one of them were putting out great NFL quarterbacks, but they did have a lot because they just dominated in college. And I think Justin's gonna break that curse. Justin Fields is gonna break that curse from Ohio State, but it's high hopes for
Yeah.
CJ, man. I
I
don't
kind
know.
of take him as an original. He was an original Georgia boy that
Yeah,
got forced out.